Hey church, Pastor Chris here with another episode of Mutant Church. I'm talking about fresh smells and fresh scriptures today. You know, this morning started like any other. I was still in my pajamas. I went outside right here on my deck to feed the dog. But when I opened the back door, I had one of those moments of unexpected delight that just grabs you out of nowhere. It had rained slightly overnight and it smelled so good. It was better than a plate of French fries and gravy. I mean, fresher than pizza right out of the oven. And those are some of my favorite things, but this smelled better. I don't even know how to describe how good it smelled outside, but I think I've never been so thankful for my nostrils in a long time. You know, opening the door to that surprise was a great way to start my day. In Psalm 119, verse 37, it says, "Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things and give me life in your ways." Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things and give me life in your ways. You can start your day in a lot of worthless ways. You can start your day in a lot of different ways. You can look at things that might not even be wrong. They're just not helpful. I've started my day stupidly by reading the news or scrolling Facebook or checking my email first. But when I let God have the first word in my day, something changes. It's like sliding open the door to something fresh that He wants to do. When I let God speak to my heart through His Word and by His Spirit, it changes my focus. It shifts things away from my expectations and my entitlements, and it prepares me for something so much greater. It puts me in a place to do battle against two of the big things that are actually hurting people right now during this pandemic. And they are negativity and loneliness. So instead of starting our days with stuff that in the end isn't worth much, you have the chance to open the door to have an encounter with God. One of the ways you can open the door is through gratitude. That does battle with negativity. I mean, just stop for a moment right now and give God thanks for what you have instead of complaining about what you don't have. Go ahead. You can probably think of 3 things right now that God has blessed you with. Gratitude is like an antiviral to your negativity. And then we can shift gears and go beyond ourselves by reaching out to others. Reaching out to people, caring about people, it kills our loneliness. Let God's Spirit bring a name to your mind. I was just reminded of this by one of my leaders. That when God brings a name to mind, assume that is something that God wants you to do something about. Reach out to that person, whether it's with a phone call or a text, or maybe just dropping off fresh cookies on somebody's doorstep like some of my friends did around town last week. I mean, wow. Philippians 2 verse 4 says, "Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." See, when you get your mind off of your own circumstances and off of yourself and just listen to what God is saying, you open the door to experiencing something fresh. It's counterintuitive. It would seem like obsessing over your own happiness would be the best way to be happy, but most contented people I know are consistently people who put others first. Well, that's all for now. In the words of my good friend Jacques, who showed up in the last video, pray hard, pray often, and I'm praying for you. I'll talk to you again real soon.